two. 1 2 1 2. 1 2.
kuphela ngishaya ngayirifile ngayibeka
1 2 1 2 1 2. Utesta umsindo 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Because of time, akabana sibonge asibadedele baqale manje. Bazothi kwaqwa nje lemva koko siphinde sibuye celebrate kuyo. Hey, andikukusola. Yeah, mayelana na.
Comrades, now, comrades, it's all against us because of the social distancing. As a school, it's not in a so this is all against but I speak and ask the roots to arrive in my mind city. So since the one we ready themselves, but again, going to Ama media house landing the squad. Okay, no, thank you very much. Good day to our friends from the media, my fellow panelists here, Comrade Group and Comrade Kamete, zonal and branch leaders who are here from eThekwini region, members of the leagues and alliance partners, members of the ANC, and viewers, of course, on YouTube, because this is being streamed live on YouTube. And other channels, of course, you can see there are media houses over here. We want to take this opportunity to greet you during this day and thank you for coming and being with us. This is going to be a not very long media briefing. We'll try by all means to be short and succinct and straight to the point because there's a lot of work that needs to be done. However, we are here to address a number of issues which I don't think they are news to you. It's things that you've heard of or seen on the news. But here we want you to understand where we stand as a eThekwini region on these issues. So at this particular point in time, I'll then give the mic to Comrade Dube to read our statement to you. And then after the statement, we'll then take questions based on what was said on the statement, and then again we can clarify all the media houses on whatever issues they may wish to be clarified on, and then we will wrap our media briefing. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yasebenza zithule phela kuthuleke. Oh. Yebo. ukuyithathela. Oh. Phela ngiyifake.
Welcome and a very good day to each and every one of you, comrades, leadership from the branches, secretaries, chairpersons, our beloved friends from the press, volunteers of the ANC. We welcome you to this message sharing session that we are about to share with you. As my colleague has just indicated, my job is too small. It's a matter of sharing what is written in front of me after deliberations and collated information from different branches. As you can see, that representation in terms of majority of the branches in eThekwini, a lot of comrades are here. We felt that it's important that we come out clean and read something and share something that relates to our program of action. Our purpose, we are here to support President Zuma and the Secretary General of the ANC, Comrade Magashule. As eThekwini branches, we hereby declare our support for former President of the African National Congress, Comrade Jacob Zuma, and Comrade Magashule as our SG. We believe that the persecution of these two leaders is motivated by politics. Working with these who want to polarize, destabilize, and burn down the South Africa into ashes, they want to make it possible for these comrades not to continue leading us. Our analysis as branches since 2017 has made us conclude that this is the battle for the soul of the ANC. The agenda is to weaken the ANC internally and finally collapse it to another failed liberation movement. As you may well know that in the continent, we talk of a number of failed liberation movements. Persecution is set to discredit leaders and anyone who calls for economic transformation. The aim is to label leaders as thieves in order to maintain the status quo that favors apartheid beneficiaries. You will know that in terms of transformation, we are lagging behind. And whoever seems to want to attempt to transform anything is actually demonized and made something else. Our 1994 democratic breakthrough, as we all know, was a negotiated settlement. It only gave us a right to vote every 5 years. We will stand with our leaders and the agenda of total liberation that includes economic emancipation. Moving further to the area that supports Comrade Magashule. As branches of eThekwini region, we want to publicly declare our support for Secretary General, who is being persecuted ever since he was elected at Nazareth. There have been many attempts by some in the media to paint Comrade Magashule as a corrupt leader, but they all have failed up until now. We understand that the attacks are meant to weaken the ANC internally, because if you remove the ANC chief executive officer in the form of Comrade Ace, nobody would be managing the ANC. The attacks on Comrade Magashule have become so severe ever since he called for the radical economic transformation. His questioning of the mandate of the Reserve Bank as part of the resolution of the Nazareth Conference has turned Ace into enemy number one and the monopoly capital enemy. His biggest sin was to repeat ANC conference resolution on Reserve Bank and challenging the untransformed economic structures of our country. Our branches of the ANC that has power to remove and elect leaders of the ANC. The position of the SG is like the engine of the organization. No car can ever move without the engine. Any attempt to remove him will collapse the ANC, but it will be challenged and defeated because as branches we are resolute. We understand the plot. We understand that there are calls by the enemy of collapsing the ANC and replacing with a coalition government. The attacks on the office of the SG must be viewed as part of this agenda. As branches in this metro or in this region, we will not allow ANC to collapse or be relegated into a rural party because we failed to defend it when the duty called. Moving on to the step-aside issue, we respect the Integrity Commission and we believe that it should carry its work with integrity it deserves, hence it's an Integrity Commission. The IC, which is the Integrity Commission, must avoid being seen as a participant in the factional battles of the movement. The step-aside rule must read in conjunction with Rule 25 of the ANC Constitution, as well as the constitutional right of the individuals, which is enshrined in the Constitution of the Republic. Step-aside must be voluntary and not be forced on a comrade, as per the narrative of the conference and the outcomes. Those who are calling for AIDS to step aside must respect his constitutional right as a citizen. We are worried by the new tendency whereby our leaders are dragged into courts, but there are no charges and the state keeps on postponing the cases, which delays the opportunity for any leader to cleanse his name or to present his side of the story. Moving on to Comrade former President Jacob Zuma. We want to pledge our support for President Jacob Zuma, who will be appearing in court towards the end of this month in Pietermaritzburg High Court. We understand that some of our members will not make it due to national lockdown regulation. However, we will stand with him during this difficult time and we offer our support. Our support stems from ANC National General Council, which reinstated him in 2007 ANC Conference Resolution on Msholozi. In fact, after he was relegated from being a deputy president in 2005, there was a resolution in our National General Council which confirmed that indeed Msholozi was a property of the branches and the ANC. Therefore, we had to support him since then. The conference also reaffirmed that position. The forever persecution of President Zuma is now taking the shape of how African leaders get arrested after leaving the office in terms of governance. This is one of the reasons why some African leaders refuse to leave the office, because the imperialist imposes puppet rulers who will arrest them post their term of offices. This results in civil unrest and social instability that allows imperialists to have an access to African natural resources without disruption. This route must be avoided because it will only benefit imperialists at the expense of peace-loving South Africans. This is now worrying us because many developments in our country are not in favor of our black majority. We will be persuading and mobilizing the ANC, NEC and PC members, as well as other regions in the province, to support our president or our former president, Msholozi. We will seek an audience with provincial leadership to express our views and highlight the need of supporting President Namalala. We believe that this particular program that we are presenting is the right way to actually entice the branches and everybody else who cares about defending and protecting ANC and the future of our country. Let's move on to the Constitutional Court ruling. We note the Constitutional Court ruling in relation to the matter that was brought before the Deputy Chief Justice Zondo, a known friend of Zuma, by the way. We believe that this matter was not urgent, it should have been heard at the lower court. However, we are concerned about the ruling that seems to infringe on the constitutional rights of the President Zuma. The courts as arm of state are not above the Constitution of the Republic. The rights can only be reviewed by politicians through a parliamentary process. In the absence of the parliamentary process, the Concord cannot assume the role of politicians and willy-nilly amend the rights of President Zuma that were hardly fought for. Courts must avoid being thrown into political arena. Courts must avoid creating a constitutional crisis for the Republic. Because indeed, when someone's rights are not actually protected, that person can actually react in any other form, including ignoring the decisions that are taken in the name of that particular right. What's the way forward? We will hold, We will hold series of engagements with different structures of the ANC alliance, civil society, mobilize them behind and fight against injustices imposed on our leaders. Since last night, we have been approached by many comrades expressing their support for Ngamalala and Ace Magashule, who will be joining us in the campaign. In the eThekwini region, we have been approached by many branches as well, who hold different perspectives than ours, but they feel that this is their responsibility to defend the leadership. We will be meeting with them soon, including councillors. We may differ in terms of leadership preferences in the region, but when it comes to Msholozi, the comrades have come forward to pledge and say we are all together, we are all going to follow the marching orders and defend the leader. We will also have engagements with provincial leader of the MKMVA, ANC Veterans League, and ANC Women's League. All our PYA formations, we will engage them, including the leagues. Secondly, we will meet with all regional leaders and branches across the country. We will approach regions and sub-regions of the provinces, which will culminate into a national mobilization program. Should we face any resistance and sabotage from those who are abusing the state machinery, we will be left with no choice but to act silently. As revolutionaries, we have to ponder on the question of Vladimir Lenin that says, what shall be done? In conclusion, we therefore call for unity and stability. Our call for unity is based on the understanding that should such divisions continue, it will not be good for anyone. We will be left with leaderless society and anarchy. A divided ANC cannot claim authority over the society. Let us unite. Let us take this opportunity again to send our condolences to His Majesty and to the family. We heard that His Majesty has been hospitalized. We say we wish him speedy recovery. We acknowledge also that in KwaZulu-Natal, a bigger part of KwaZulu-Natal is actually dominated by Amakhosi. So from time to time, we know that in any effort or any program that we put forward or we present, we cannot leave Amakhosi outside and Izinduni, because it's where the KwaZulu-Natal is actually formed as a province. So we continue then to call upon everybody and anybody who feels that is actually convicted to defend any injustice to be part of the program going forward. But as eThekwini, we have a very programmatic program. It's programmed, it's a programmatic program. We will continue enticing the program, we will take it forward, we will engage the province, but not just to engage the province. We will have other programs that will be assisting the program of engaging. So, because it doesn't go alone. So basically, that's all we are about at this stage. But we believe that in terms of the history of Msholozi as a person, we need not to explain more in terms of his contribution to actually make sure that this province becomes a province that is peaceful between the previous wars that were happening between IFP and ANC. So we understand that he's not just a leader of the ANC in the province. He has led the society and the community of KwaZulu-Natal to a better place of non-violence. Therefore, we will continue supporting the leader. I thank you.
No, thank you very much, Comrade Dube. We have a sound challenge, so please forgive me. I hope I'm audible. Okay, at this point in time, I'll then give the opportunity to our friends from the media for any questions that they may have. You can just indicate by show of hand, and then I will list down
Okay, one. No, Media House. Okay, Media House. Eyewitness. Okay. Oh, Munye of Nukbos. Okay, Numalu Daily News. Okay. Sure. Okay. Bongani Kina. Alright. Kono Munye of Nukbos. Alright, Glungish. I say calling out for Kaduma, Eyewitness.
Just two questions. First one, what do you make of the press briefing that was held by the Senate a few minutes ago, in fact, less than an hour ago? Are you not perhaps repeating what you just said? Is there anything, is your program similar to the program that the provincial government appears to want to propagate? And you also mentioned that if state machinery is used against your program, then you will act silently. What does acting silently mean exactly? Can you just get clarity on that particular matter?
Okay. Gena Azwit. Okay. All right. Babukin.
Thank you. Ngizocela ukuza ukuthi ngabe kube khona ukuxhumana phakathi kwenu kwama-branches kanye naye u-SG no-former president uZuma ukuzwakalisa ukubasekela kwenu ukuthi nike naxhumana nabo formally. Okwesibili, ngabe nenzile nokuthi umengameli noma abhala incwadi ukuthi akazimisele ukuvela kwezono commission okwenu uphawulo lapho lokho ukuthi.
All right. Thank you. Okay. That's it. All right. Siabong.
The first one.
Let the press briefing come concern this team.
So manage.
Okay. Then I'm at the table. What's the vitamin profit? Yes.
It depends what you have available.
No, angibonge mhlambe umbuzo oqala iwona onzima kakhulu. The first question is the most difficult because what is happening is that we are dealing with leadership that has a mind of its own. We are unable to predetermine or predict what could agitate their response that reaches a level of making a press briefing just immediately before this one. It's very difficult to read their minds and actually preemptively tell you honestly. They could actually be better positioned to answer that. But we find it strange because Imeta Babu Cholozi and other comrades like comrade SG Magashule has been making rounds. It's something that has been spoken about almost in every household. And we have not really received a solid statement that seeks to suggest that the province has got a plan. We only began to hear the plan an hour ago. And then we embraced it because we equally received a statement this morning, which was circulated again, talking to the issue of branches that are actually calling for this press briefing, which are unknown to the province, issued by the spokesperson of the province. In our view, it was a desperate move that was seeking to disrupt the imminent sitting of this press briefing. Because I've not seen even a single statement that was inviting the media to that briefing. But it happened anyway. So, in essence, it feels like we have leaders who are more worried about their characters and they are who are self-serving more than looking at the current agenda and perhaps respond to the understanding of the branches on the ground. Well, they may have been well within their rights to call for a media briefing. They may call it at 1 o'clock in the morning, it's fine. But the reality of the matter, what agitated that, what prompted them to do it in such a hush-hush and a rushed way. So that's precisely why we are unable to really make a solid comment. I'll leave the other questions to my colleagues to wrap them up and see whether they allow for other round of questions. Thank you.
Okay, no, thank you very much, Babu Tup. Ngizonikeza Babu Gamet to deal with the second question from Uzwete Oti. When are we planning, details on when are we going to meet with the provincial leadership?
No,
Yes,
thanks very much, Chair. No, on that one, I think it is the easiest question, but I like what Babu Dube has already said before me regarding the PEC. Yeah, we've got a serious challenge with, that, with our current leadership. There is a statement that's said, and also there is also something else that is said by our provincial secretary. But let me not dwell much on that one. When do we plan to engage with our PEC? As it is based on their availability. We've been trying to get all of them. It's not the first time we've been trying to meet with our leadership. We have sent letters. We have written letters to their offices. We have tried all other avenues, but we are waiting for them to say no. Today we are available. We'll go there and meet up with our leadership and engage further. But we reaffirm that we are in full support of Comrade Msholos and also Comrade SG. Thanks.
No, thank you very much. Maybe let me respond to the last question that was asked by Ubabuki. Have you engaged leadership who come to SG, no President Ngamalala, to pledge our support? I think that question I apply to eThekwini. Ungayibuza kwenye region Babuki. Na eThekwini we've always been open. Candidates we've always played them like this. When it comes to combat to SG or combat to Ngamalala. So I want to remind you of a march that we held before Gupinde Israel Valo, I think it was the 29th of October 2020. La esas marcha kona speta mabhena amakhulu athi hands off our SG, hands off Msholozi, hands off our leaders. So asishintshile kulo message leyo. These leaders that we are talking about here, into esikhulumayo ukubona ukuthi support yabo banayo support yethu eThekwini banayo ngeke beqala ukuzwa ngani namhlanje ngale media briefing. They know very well. We've been there, we've spoken to them, and we've expressed how strongly we feel about these issues. Ebesizokwenza namhlanje we're putting it to the whole world ukuthi bazi ukuthi we will stand with these leaders, come rain or sunshine. We are going to stand with them. La bafa khona siyofa khona. Thina ke eThekwini niyasazi-ke masithe into soyenza sike soyenza ngempela. Mhlambe nje into encane enye engidlula kuyona yile ukuthi kule ama condolences siyazwana kakhulu nawo yonke imindeni elahlekelwe ihlobo zawo during isikhathi se-COVID. Nathi kwethu imindeni silahlekelwe zihlobo. Siphinde futhi sifisela ungangezo lakhe ukululama okuphuthumayo sizwele ukuthi isilo esikhulu siyadunguzela. Kodwa ke siyazi ukuthi uNkulunkulu ukhona, indlu enkulu izoba sesimene esiright. Lokho besifuna ukuthi sikudlulise. Ngawuthatha komunye umbuzo mani nawo mawungekho bese ngiyavala. Yes. Angizange follow up on the Zonal Commission question. Okay.
And acting silently, what does that mean?
Oh, acting silently, yes. Oh, sorry, ngiyaxolisa.
Well, I understand that when someone says, "Bakhona into okuthiwa ilokhuza kuqala ezomoya," bese kuba khona thina ngapha isokuthiwa sino underground. Ezomoya kwakuthiwa ama-SB special branch. Akhona ezomoya zizokuzwa. Thina ngapha sibhizi no underground, thina sinendlela yethu. Maningi ke into oyenzayo, there are many strategies you employ when you wanna wake up and act than to plan to act. So waking silently means you are waking up to act after the unknown planning, which can only be revealed once the action is realized. So that's basically that. That's why ngikuhlukanisela in the old regime, especially people were not talking, they would wake up and actually action something. So that's how we're going to actually behave, because that's the experience that we have.
Kodwa ke angithi niya understand ukuthi kuthiwa if kuwukuthi kusetshenziswa ama state resources against us pusha back le support isinikezwe lama leaders, then that's where the acting in silence will happen. So I that to be clear lokho ukuthi we are not just saying you're going to act silently, there's a rider to that. Ubuphakamisile.
I heard you talking about the issue of unity of
Yes.
part of the resolution of the latest conference of the ANC in 2017 was that branches of the ANC or members of the ANC should not go out and support leaders who are currently undergoing courts. You spoke about you supporting the former president and so on this year. Don't you think by doing so, it's also solo division in the party? And again, on the follow-up on the question from the past about whether they conducted the former president and the SGO. I was not clear, it's written in team, we've always been supporting them. And mentioning about it, I'm not sure whether specifically have you conducted them over and if you did, what were their responses? And again, the last question. Last week or a week ago, I'm not sure, I can't remember. There was this famous tea party that took place in Ghana. I just want to get your feeling. I know that many of you at some point were very angry of Kutubias Malema for his action against the former president. Are you happy with this meeting with the former president and the stance that he seems to be taking now?
Okay. Comment to say.
Oh, okay. No, asibonge. Cha. Kukwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi mhlawumbe umbuzo sizwe kahle. The fact of the matter is that in the ANC we act according to a conviction, a revolution. We don't act because it's nice to act in a particular way. We won't wake up and defend Comrade Msholozi because it's nice to be seen to be doing that. We do that because it's a conviction, it's part of our revolutionary duty to say one of our own is under siege and it has got the potential of actually dividing Umbuto as things stand. Partly, Msholozi will always know that we are behind him because he has been our leader and he is still our leader.